From Logan, Utah, college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky, a Mountain West Conference matchup between UNLV and Utah State. In the Mountain West Conference standings, the surprise San Jose State 2-0, Boise State, UNLV, San Diego State, and Wyoming all undefeated in Mountain West Conference play. With the College Football Hall of Famer Randy Cross, Amanda Guerra on the sideline, I'm Carter Blackburn. UNLV suffers its first loss of the season last Friday in overtime to Syracuse. One loss doesn't blow up the season for the Rebels, but two losses different.
We can't think about that loss. When the season began, he said they had 3 goals. The first was to win every single week. The second, compete for a conference title. After that, come November, he says we still want to be in that national conversation as we get closer to the expanded playoff. As for the quarterback, everybody's talking about Malik Williams. Coach Odom says he has definitely elevated this offense. Not only is he in the building every morning by 4:30 a.m., with him under center, he said we can cover every blade of grass on this field.
Utah State won the toss, deferred to the second half on a lovely evening in Logan, Utah. Could go either way in October in Logan, Utah. Instead, we have 75 degrees. Really not much wind on a lovely evening here at Maverick Stadium. It is homecoming night here for Utah State.
This is Chamber of Commerce night.
And yes, it is 1-4 Utah State against 4-1 UNLV, but the Aggies have a history of upsets on their homecoming night. Kickoff from Nimrod will bounce at the back of the end zone to the 25, so that's where UNLV...
Real quick, why it's the go-go, and one thing the go-go really needs to do is emphasize that run and pass.
Williams from Atlanta, spent 5 years at Campbell, left as the Campbell's all-time passing yards leader and touchdown leader. And here's a toss. Go to begin. It's De Jesus who takes the toss across the 40, across the 50, breaks it inside the 40, and on the first snap, UNLV gets a gain of 35.
Yeah, coming around from the backside. That's a typical little play for this offense. They call it the go-go offense for a reason. A lot of motion and a lot of different formations.
On the first snap last week against Boise State, the Aggies gave up a 63-yard touchdown run to Ashton Genty. Another explosive on the first play. Handoff goes to Kylan James, makes the first man miss. He takes it inside the 20, inside the 10. First and goal, UNLV after just 2 offensive snaps.
2 tight ends, double wing formation, turns into a run. 1 straight arm, 1 great block, and 1 fantastic run. That was a great way to start. This is an offense that's on a roll.
That one goes for 32. Williams to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Ricky White III, who has 6 receiving touchdowns. 5th most in college football. He was the target there with J.D. Drew in coverage. Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. Pretty good numbers touchdown-wise, 57% for UNLV, but you see the national average. There is still room for improvement.
Yeah, that was an RPO there, and it was an RPO that was well covered by the safety. Safety did not bite, thus the receiver was not open.
Moore and James in the backfield. James gets it. He will walk into the end zone with an opening drive touchdown for UNLV. 2 explosives, and then Kylan James walks in to give the Rebels a hot start in Logan.
That's one thing about this running game. You've got a very good offensive line. They were recognized mid-season by the Joe Moore Award. UNLV can block, and they showed it there. That was part scheme, part blocking, and good speed.
In just 4 plays, 75 yards. Already 38 rushing yards and a touchdown for Kylan James. They call it the go-go, and it is go-go early in Logan, Utah. James walks in. UNLV handling business early, 7-0 Rebels. A minute, 9 seconds in here in Logan, Utah. Already 7-0 UNLV. So, Randy, let's get in your keys to the game while we can.
Well, keep them guessing. That's the RPO, and that's how much are they going to run, which I'm going to guess is going to be a lot. Defense, limit number 1. That's Royals. And blitz the run. Offense, pace, points, and possession for Utah State. Stay on the field. And for defense, the first tackler win percentage. And you already saw there on the 2 of the runs, there was a first tackler that didn't do their job.
That was an easy one to point out. I mean, that opening drive of 1:09 and 4 plays, a 37-yard rush by DeJesus, a 33-yard run by James, and then the second rushing touchdown by Kylan James. So Caden Chittenden already ready to kick off with Jalen Royals back. He'll let it bounce out the back.
He's going to get hit.
Very different offense here at Utah State than he had at Iowa. Faison gets the opening carry and picks up 9 on the first snap for Utah State. So that's a good start for the Aggies, who have not had good starts on offense this year. 0 opening drive points, one of just 10 in the FBS. They will hurry it up. Faison gets a second touch, shakes his way across the 40, and has a first down. That's a big first down for Utah State.
Now that isn't bad tackling. That's just flat making somebody miss. He makes the D lineman miss, makes the linebacker miss. That is some great scoots and great cuts.
Faison had 109 rushing yards, his third straight 100-plus yard game. That was last week versus Boise State. Substitutions on both sides. Herschel Turner Jr. now in the backfield with Petrus. Big first down. You said Utah State could not go 3 and out. So Petrus fakes it, check down, tosses. Turner gets it across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Up front for Utah State, you got Cole Moats, the 5th-year senior at left tackle, Bowles, Alo, Maui, and Anderson. No doubt the big play receiver is Jalen Royals. He's been explosive for Utah State. Turner gets the handoff again, breaks a tackle on 2nd and 4, trying to stretch it out. He is ridden down after a gain of maybe 2. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Well, this is mission accomplished as far as Utah State's concerned. They're staying on the field. They're breaking tackles. They're running the ball effectively. Yeah, he ran right into a tackler, but he made 2 people miss before he did that.
Jalen Catalon brings him down to force 3rd and 2. Miley is the fullback, so a jumbo look here on 3rd and 2 for Utah State. Turner trying to bounce it outside. Ridden down. He'll be dropped for a loss on 3rd down. Led by the safety, Jalen Catalon. A loss of 3 on 3rd and 2.
Jalen Catalon's going to come from the right side of the screen. Basically a run blitz on this 3rd and short. Now, this isn't about pinning him inside the 20. This is about pinning him inside the 10.
UNLV has been tremendous on punt blocks this season. 3 blocked punts, 2 by Ricky White. So Stephen Kotzenle, the 5th-year senior from Australia, will be rolling out and kicking it away from the pressure for UNLV. Rolls out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Good punt from Kotzenle. That's a 42-yard punt. So it was just 4 plays, opening drive touchdown for Haj Malik Williams and the Rebels. They get it again when we come back to Logan. 7-0 start for UNLV on the road at Utah State. Kick off your Sunday fun day at 8 a.m. Eastern with that other pregame show as our Tops team gets you ready for the whole slate of NFL action right here on CBS Sports Network. UNLV 7-0 in a hurry.
Oh, it was just kind of what we expected. That was a pass, by the way. So the first play, that little shovel forward. And then, James just going 2 great runs. Get it down to the 4-yard line, and then he gets it in on a touchdown. Again, the mismatch in this game is the offensive line of UNLV against a decimated defensive line for Utah State. They're going to have to blitz. They're going to have to stunt. They're going to have to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Jaden Jet Thomas breaks free again. Thomas across the 50, ridden out of bounds as UNLV breaks another big one in the run game. Larson shoves out Thomas after a gain of 42.
James a little bit tired from his running earlier. Well, Thomas takes over in the first play. He breaks out. So that gives you a little bit of what you face with this offense, too. You saw the formation, you saw the motion, and the run away from the formation.
All out of a 2-back set. And you'll get the option look as well. Nothing much doing there for Haj Malik Williams as Utah State stretches out while Atea makes the stop. The anchor of the UNLV offensive line is Tiger Shanks, a 4-year starter at right tackle. We will see a bevy of running backs. Jaden Thomas is in for this drive, but all eyes on number 11, Ricky White III.
Watch out for the RPO when you get this kind of running going on. Linebackers tend to concentrate on it. Safeties peek in to try to make tackles, and that means the passes and the slants are wide open.
UNLV runs the ball nearly 70% of the time. Another handoff to Thomas. The sophomore running back from Atlanta Westlake High School gets 3 as we take a look at that banged-up Aggie defensive line. Randy told you about the 6 starters and backups they have lost on the defensive line. John Ross May, that was good news for him coming back from an injured left arm injury. Jordan Vincent and Ike Larson, the safeties, are their leading tacklers, which is never a good sign for a defense as well. They're giving up 483 per game yardage-wise. That's 130 out of 134. Haj Malik Williams to the air and left it a little wide for Casey Kane. So UNLV will bring the punt unit on, facing 4th down from the Utah State 41.
I like that play. A little experimentation, a little prodding and probing. Could have been a play. Now, you're going to go to the sideline if you're Haj Malik Williams, and you're going to see that on video on the pad, and you're going to see that if you throw that inbounds, it could have been a touchdown.
Marshall Nichols, half his punts have been inside the 20. That's Randy's favorite stat. Boy, he just barely got that one off after a low snap. It will bounce into the end zone and bring it back to the 20-yard line. Net just 21 yards on the punt. The 27th meeting between Utah State and UNLV. The Rebels won on their last trip to Logan, trying to make it back-to-back against the Aggies here in Utah.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon. And by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico.
Yes, we know Derek Carr is out this week for the Saints, but 3 Mountain West Conference starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Allen with the Bills and Jordan Love getting some love with the Packers jersey here at his alma mater, Utah State. He was the 26th overall pick in 2020. First-round pick for Utah State since Phil Olson. Here's your draft nugget of the night, number 1. Petrus completes to Faison. UNLV has remained relatively healthy, so it's the same starters up front. Dixon, Webb, Whitmore, Doyle Jr. They're without Marcel McDuffie at linebacker. Manny Powell takes over there. Woodard has been the defensive star. But Jalen Cattle on the back end with 4 interceptions, second most in the nation.
And Woodard's one of those heat-seeking missiles. He is always around the ball, and he's always around the ball carrier.
There's a walk-on for Barry Odom at Arkansas. Has been a star at UNLV. Petrus downfield missed his man. Kyrese White was running wide open. That was 6.
That is too bad. He doesn't really step into that pass. He kind of flips it. Man, and you're talking 5 yards wide open. That's a play that they'll rue the day they didn't take advantage of that, because that's the kind of play against a team like this. You've got to take advantage of the wide open receivers when you get them.
That would have been a 79-yard touchdown if Petrus hits White. Instead, now you're facing 3rd and 9. Petrus chased out of the pocket. He's sacked back at the 11-yard line. Manny Powell comes up to sack Spencer Petrus. It's a loss of 10, forcing 4th down.
And watching the tapes for these last few games, it's been a theme for Utah State. Their protection is about 1,001, 1,002, 1,000, so about 2.5 seconds. Then you're going to get pressure. That's exactly what happened right there to Petrus.
You pointed out Kotzenle had a long time to get off that last punt for Utah State. We'll see if Rebels can get more pressure this time. Kotzenle boots it away. DeJesus will let it bounce and now picks it up off the bounce and gets just across the 50-yard line. So DeJesus off the bounce. UNLV will get it on the plus side of the 50 after a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
Back here in Logan, Utah, UNLV up by 7. A lot of people have wanted to know how UNLV quarterback Haj Malik Williams has been able to get up to speed so quickly with this offense. His coaches tell us it's because he can look at the field from 3 different perspectives. At Campbell University, he worked with former head coach, NFL vet Mike Minter. They would spend hours looking at tapes. We see it from an NFL perspective. He spent some time at West Point, so he knows the triple option, and he's able to view things now from a UNLV perspective. His coaches, though, say he is so smart, but sometimes they do have to calm his brain down, and so he doesn't make things so complex.
Now, Haj had the same trainer as Ricky White, Stephen Brown in the Atlanta area, so he suggested UNLV. Got on the phone with Brennan Marion, and 24 hours later, he was on a plane to UNLV, although he said it was painful, tears when he lost out on that starting job to Matthew Sluka. Stayed ready. Sluka left the team. Haj Malik Williams was able to take over. And amazingly for UNLV, 9 offensive snaps now. 3 have gone for 30 plus. Only 1 completion by Haj Malik Williams. Jaden Jet Thomas, fake it to him. Williams on the roll, hit as he throws, up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Almost picked. Ike Larson had a chance at the interception on the pass intended for Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley actually ended up breaking up the interception. DB came right back forward. The ball was right in his hands. But Bradley coming in like that knocks it out. That's a pass when they watch the films tomorrow. He'll give himself a minus.
Williams
should have never thrown that.
Only thrown 1 interception in his previous 2 starts. Looks like a flag down, screen on 3rd down. Here goes Thomas. Knocked down near the first down. We'll see where they spot him. It is close. Again, flag down, looked like a free play for UNLV. And we'll check with our referee, Cal McNeil.
Offsides defense, number 4. That penalty's declined. The results of play, it's first down. Excuse me.
It's short.
Yeah, it's 4th and 1, isn't it?
Correction. The penalty will be assessed from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So they elected to take the offsides and go back to 3rd down rather than decline, have a 9-yard gain, and face 4th and 1.
Well, it's really the smart decision. I mean, going for it 4th and 1 is an if and a maybe.
After further discussion, they have decided to decline the ball, 4th down.
Okay.
So they are going to go for it. Change their minds again. All right, you've got the superior offensive line. You're Barry Odom. The Rebels are a tough physical football team. This is where it should show.
Fake the toss. Williams pressured in the pocket. On the run, Williams tucks it, dives forward, and he has it on 4th down. Haj Malik Williams scrambles for the first down to move the chains.
Was it the tale of the 3 little pigs getting away by your hair of your chinny chin chin? And Haj Malik Williams just barely eludes that tackle to get those extra yards to get that 4th down.
So after the deliberation to decline the penalty, have 4th and 1, they go for it, pick it up. They're now 6 for 8 on 4th down this year. 1 back look now. There's White on the edge, gets a big block on the edge from Kane, and White goes rolling. He was 1 tackle away from taking it. He's out at the 23, gain of 14.
Yeah, White's an All-American type. This is a kid that has really good on offenses, has been for a while here at Las Vegas, but he is also an excellent special teams player. He blocks kicks, he returns balls. This kid can do everything.
Williams to White again, this time on the right side. Just run it right back for the former Michigan State Spartan. He was an All-American last year with nearly 1,500 receiving yards. And his last 2 games have been explosive, and you add into that the special teams. He was the Mountain West Conference Special Teams Player of the Week.
Yeah, you watch him as a gunner. Usually gunners are harassing, other athletes down the field to keep them and protect their punt returners. He'll block punts on you in a second from that gunner spot.
Moore at fullback. Fake it to Burrell. Toss it to the end zone, stretching out. White, is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Ricky White III on an 18-yard TD strike from Haj Malik Williams. It's the 7th touchdown catch of the year for White.
You talk about the diversity of talent of the young man, and he immediately delivers. Beautiful pass by Haj Malik Williams. The ball is brought in. Watch how he controls it to the ground. The idea is if it's a catch, you have to control it through the catch. And he controls it all the way and keeps that ball clutched to his chest.
7 plays, 3 of them completions to Ricky White III. 3 straight completions, including the 18-yard TD catch. Replay has looked at it. They've confirmed a touchdown. I mean, White clearly had a foot in bounds. It was just whether he came down with the football, as you pointed out, Randy.
And the first pass on that drive was an oh no. Should not have been thrown, and should have been an interception.
Chittenden's PAT is good. So a 4th down conversion leads to the touchdown catch. Williams to White. We step aside for just 30 seconds. A rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, a 14-0 lead for UNLV. Chittenden's kickoff will be brought out by Jalen Royals. Across the 15, he is tripped up and gets to the 20, so 5 less than he would have had he taken a touchback Powell with the special teams tackle. Well, it has been a very eventful season and really last few weeks. The win over Kansas, you start the year 3-0 with 2 wins over Big 12s, Houston and Kansas. Amidst the realignment talk, UNLV says it will stay in the Mountain West Conference. Then on September 26th, the highly publicized Matthew Sluka leaves the program. They're ranked for the first time. Then the overtime loss to Syracuse, the first loss. Pays on with the first down carry, but you're still undefeated in the Mountain West Conference and still have a chance at being that Group of 5 representative in the playoff.
Yeah, and you're going to find out in the next month whether that's going to happen. You look down the road at their schedule, they got some tough ones.
Including the Friday night against Boise State in 2 weeks and the potential of another rematch with Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship game where they played last year. Brock Lane with the catch for Utah State. That's a big one for Utah State, getting Brock Lane back on the field. He's been banged up all year.
Big time. And this is an offense that needs him at tight end because that really makes them go, being able to threaten the middle of the field.
Pressure coming on 3rd and 1. It's a run blitz. Faison runs right through it. That gets just enough for a first down. 2-yard gain. Manny Powell on the tackle.
Both these offenses love to play with pace. Utah State really loves it.
Faison on first down. Sheds the first 2 tacklers for UNLV. Dropped as he gets across the 31. Jalen Cadlon comes up to make the stop. Minimal gain, but Faison still had a tough run on what was maybe a yard gain on the play.
Ran 20 yards for nothing.
5 wide, and I mean wide. They're split wide, but nobody's open. Busted play. Petrus is sacked on 2nd down. Jalen Dixon comes up to make the stop. 2nd team all Mountain West Conference last year.
Wanted to throw it out here for a little tunnel screen to the trips motion, the trips that was out to the left, and all 3 guys were blocking. No one, somebody should have figured out I'm a receiver. All 3 of them were blocking.
They utilize big, wide stretching of the field pre-snap. This time it's 4 wide with Faison in the backfield on 3rd and 11. Petrus, the 7th-year senior, winds up, completes. First down, Utah State. Slipping away, Hestera. 2 years at Colorado, 1 year at Charlotte, first year as an Aggie.
That's one of the toughest throws there is out there. You're on that left hash mark. You're throwing all the way across the field the other way. You've got to put some serious mustard on that thing, and Petrus did.
Gain of 16 to Hestera. Fake the run, toss it on the edge. That's Royals. He's wrestled down by Malik Chavis. The big pad, 11-yard gain.
Yeah, a lot of pad defensively, and they keep doing that. Petrus has got to keep playing with this rhythm. They've got the pace down, and right now the offense has got a little rhythm and bounce.
Royals' first catch. Here comes another run blitz. Faison slips out of the tackle in the backfield. Manny Powell nearly had him for a loss, but another tough run by Faison. Catalon and Elad finally bring him down. It's another, maybe 3 yards there, but a tough run.
Well, he should have lost 2. But it comes out of 2 tackles to get into a gang tackle and still make yards.
Petrus fakes it to him on 2nd down. Now check down. Faison with the completion. That'll give him a chance on 3rd down. Powell again makes the stop. It'll be 3rd and about 3 yards.
Tell you, this would be a good spot to go back to Brock Lane, your tight end who's back into the game. Back off an injury. He can catch and he can go. And Faison, you see why they use him so much, the way he's been running. He doesn't, I'm not sure he believes in negative runs.
3 straight 100-plus rushing yard games. Lane is on the sideline for this 3rd and 5. Petrus delivers complete. Royals' 2nd catch slips away inside the 25. Taking the Rebel defense with him just inside the 20. He picks up 15.
How about that little route? Quick little route. He settles right there in the hole. Petrus delivers it perfectly, and then he just scoots away from everybody.
Just inside the 20. Faison gets it on the stretch, turns the corner, inside the 10, touchdown, Rasul Faison. Well, his tough runs set him up for Utah State, and Faison gets a 20-yard touchdown run to cap the drive. Just the 3rd rushing touchdown of his senior year.
Nice execution by this Utah State offense, especially on that play. That was part scheme, but excellent blocking, and then Faison just runs away from everybody.
11 plays, 79 yards. Cragen handling the placements this week after Nimrod has been errant, but Faison, the tough runs for 1 and 3 yards, and then this one goes for 20.
Yeah, you're going to get this side, and then you're just going to scoot if you're Faison. You seal him off, you get the linebacker. Once you get that linebacker, that play's over. The linebacker can't get there. No one's going to catch Faison because they're being blocked.
It's been a unique college career for Rasul Faison. Lackawanna College, Marshall, but never played. Then Snow College here in Utah. Last year, 3 starts for Utah State. Now as a 5th-year senior, he has taken over as the featured back. And along with Jalen Royals carrying this Utah State offense. I mean, yes, they're 1-4, but they played tough competition. They played Utah tough. The offense really hasn't been the issue.
They have. And, you know, you talk to Coach Driley and company, and they're going to tell you, we're going to pop on somebody. We've played tough football. Yeah, we're 1-4. We deserve to be 1-4. But we're going to go off on somebody.
They brag about the way the team has stayed together despite the 1-4. Nimrod's kickoff is a touchback to the 25. CBS Sports celebrates Hispanic and Latine pioneers of change and recognizes the history, cultures, traditions, and impact of these communities during Hispanic Heritage Month. UNLV with an explosive offensive start. 3 of the first 8 snaps were for 30-plus yards, but Utah State has a response. We got a 14-7 game. Haj Malik Williams' last 3 completions were to Ricky White III, including the 18-yard touchdown strike. So it's now 7 TDs against 1 INT and the 3 starts for Haj Malik Williams.
Side-by-side backs. It's one of the things this offense loves to do.
Haj Malik Williams takes another shot. It's White again. Hauls it in. That's 4 straight grabs for Ricky White III. This one goes for 29.
That's communication between the quarterback and the receiver. I'm going to throw it to your back shoulder. The defensive back, he can't look. He's trying to run and stay up with the receiver. He's not going to see that ball. If White knows where it's going to be thrown, it's almost a layup.
So a quarter of UNLV's plays, 4 of 16, have been 30-plus. James gets it. Huge hole up the middle for James. Trucks a couple of Aggies as he gets 13 on the first down carry.
Yeah, that was one heck of a hole. You look at that from up top, it would look like you got a car to drive through that hole. And that's partially the scheme you're looking at. They're so worried about the motion. They're so worried about where the backs and the receivers are going. That's why you're getting the kind of holes you're getting.
Out of another two-back set on first down, another big hole on the left side. James goes rolling to the 15. It's a gain of 8 more for Kylan James, as the seconds tick away to close out the first quarter. A 14-0 start for UNLV. The Aggies answer, and that is the end of the first, with UNLV up 14-7. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. 14-7 UNLV on Utah State. During the break, Amanda Guerra spoke with Utah State interim head coach Nate Dreiling.
Coach, you told me before the game you wanted winning field position. You guys were able to put up 7, but how do you slow them down on offense?
I know. We had the missed interception and loss of contain on the 4th down. So obviously they're a great offense. They've been doing it all year. We just got to win the critical moments. Right now we're not, and that's keeping them on the field.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Nate Dreiling's last job was defensive coordinator in New Mexico State, where he went up against Diego Pavia every week. Said he was not surprised to see Diego engineer the upset of Alabama last week for Vanderbilt. UNLV is averaging 12 yards per rush. James isn't going to get that on second down, but he gets 5. That's enough to move the chains.
Yeah, that's a beautiful job on the left side of that offensive line, with Ambule and St. John leading the way.
Moore at fullback. Malik Williams pulls it, tosses on the RPO, and leaves it high for Corey Thompson Jr. J.D. Drew there in coverage.
Yeah, Malik Williams on a couple of these long passes is just a freckle off. He was trying to do the same thing he did to White earlier, throw him open to that back shoulder, but it was too wide.
And he had been perfect on the RPOs coming into this game, but he's missed a couple.
The deadly RPOs are the ones over the middle of the field.
Fake it to James. Williams pulls it. Trying to stretch the corner again, turns the corner, gets maybe 5. Let's check with Amanda.
Carter, you were talking about Malik Williams and those missed targets. That's something the coaches are really working with. They talked to us about how smart he was. Remember, he can see the field in so many different ways. But they say sometimes he's making it too complicated. The way they put it to him, they said if you're a sniper, you're not looking at 5 different targets. You're just looking at 1. And that's what they want him to do on the field.
And there's room for, 6 for 10. But he's missed a couple throws tonight in this one. Really haven't seen that the first couple of weeks. So UNLV is yet to convert a 3rd down, but they do have a 4th down conversion on the last drive.
I'd find Ricky White.
Oh, bobbled! Another bobbled snap. Williams recovers, throws, knocked away. Vincent gets a hand on the football. There were snap issues last week between the center Haas and Williams. This one's low.
Yeah, that one there should have been an interception by Vincent. And that really wasn't a low snap. That was a dropped snap. That ball hit Malik Williams right in the hands. He rips this thing off, and Vincent dives late. Should have had himself a pick there.
So Chinden, who has been terrific his freshman year, 11 of 13. This will be a 33-yard attempt coming. Nichols is the holder. The 33-yarder is good. So 3 more on the board for UNLV. Barry Odom's Rebels on the road lead it 17-7. 17-7 UNLV as the Rebels try to make it 2-0 in Mountain West Conference play. The biggest headline of the Mountain West Conference season has been the 7 schools, including UNLV, staying. But right behind that, Boise State, still currently highest ranked group of 5. Ashton Genty's now your Heisman favorite.
San Jose State's a lot of people surprised with Kenny Niumatalolo there now running a very wide open offense, not unlike this go-go offense that UNLV's running, having a lot of success.
They have Nick Nash, the leading touchdown receiver in all of college football. He has 9 touchdown catches already for San Jose State.
He had 15 catches in one game. Who has 15?
The answer's Nick Nash. Yeah, it's been a very different looking San Jose State offense from the one Ken Niumatalolo had in the Navy days. Caden Chittenden's kickoff. Royals brought the last one out. He'll let this one bounce out the back for a touchback. But we talked about the star of this UNLV defense, Jackson Woodard.
Well, Jackson Woodard can make a lot of different kinds of plays. He can obviously sack you if you let him wide open like that. This last week, in the perfect spot, trying to squeeze it in there, and Woodard makes him pay.
2 INTs, although he said he dropped one last week, and that's the one that he remembers. Says he owes his teammates one after the dropped INT. Also got trucked at the goal line for the winning score for Syracuse as Petrus pulls it. Petrus lost the football, scooped up by UNLV. Rebel football on just the second lost fumble of the year by Utah State, and Woodard comes away with the ball.
Yeah, Petrus had a really wide open attempt. Everyone bid on it early. He comes in. That ball is out. The knee is not down. That is definitely a fumble, and Woodard makes him pay by recovering it.
The forced fumble by Correa, and then Jackson Woodard takes it away for the fumble recovery. Woodard has 5 tackles and a fumble recovery. 1+ takeaway in 19 of the last 20 games by the UNLV defense. They are now +9 turnover margin for the year. That's 3rd best in the FBS. Jaden Jet Thomas tackled by Jordan Vincent on first down.
Yeah, UNLV as a defense, they are just demons going after the ball. It's something that Utah State could use a little emulation here, going after the ball and punching one out to reverse this momentum. It's a dangerous offense to give the ball this many times.
It's just the 2nd fumble recovery this year by UNLV. Thomas stumbles, regains his footing, still gets a positive gain to give him a chance on 3rd down. 44-7 on points off turnover differential. I mean, that's how you play winning football.
Yeah, when you have that kind of a turnover ratio and you have that kind of execution, the one thing you mentioned earlier that they haven't been fantastic at is touchdowns in the red zone.
Including a field goal on the last drive for UNLV. Burrell in the backfield along with Moore. Williams will pull it, scramble for a first down, and take it inside the 20. Larson bumps him out after a gain of 7.
Great move by Hajj-Malik Williams. Watch him come to the outside. That right there, see that little wiggle? That absolutely froze the corner, and that's why he was able to get that first down, because he froze the only tackler in the area.
Utah State held him to a field goal last time. Critical here for the Aggies to do that again. Williams tosses, end zone. It is caught, touchdown. Casey Kane hauls it in. The former Texas Longhorn has his 2nd touchdown as a UNLV Rebel on the 2nd TD pass of the night from Hajj-Malik Williams.
Well, we saw him hit one to White on the left side. We saw him overthrow the same kind of pattern on the right side earlier, but he drills this right to the back shoulder. I mean, it's almost like a defensive back. You're defenseless. You can't really look back. You're too busy running and trying to body up the receiver. And a perfect pass is just that, the perfect pass.
The UNLV recipe for success. A takeaway by the defense. Woodard gets the fumble recovery for UNLV. The 12th takeaway by the UNLV defense this year, and it turns into a touchdown pass from Williams to Kane and a 24-7 UNLV lead. Sunday, week 6 of the NFL on CBS has plenty of great matchups, including a big one in Baltimore when rookie sensation Jaden Daniels and the Commanders go head-to-head with Lamar Jackson's Ravens. Now, that's a CBS Sports Sunday. And speaking of the Commanders, the longtime Seattle great Bobby Wagner, now with Washington after a terrific career at Utah State, including a year with our Robert Turbin that was one for the ages for these Aggies.
Yeah, he's one heck of a linebacker. Been around the league a long time.
Certainly have a quarterback superstar in the making with Jaden Daniels here in Washington now.
He almost makes it look unfair. Kind of like this defense at times, the way they've been playing. They are attacking. They move well, and they make you pay. Petrus wanted to run the ball. They said, okay, great, we'll knock it out. And when they knock it out and get a recovery like that, that usually means shortly followed by a touchdown.
So the points off turnover differential for UNLV on the season is now 51-7. Petrus hands off to Faison on the first down. Rasul Faison gets a gain of 3. He has the lone score of the night for Utah State. Jet Elad makes the stop.
Got to say one thing about Faison. He does not believe in falling backwards. When he falls, it's always forward.
Fake it to him. Petrus winds up, throws complete. Jalen Royals gets out to the 50-yard line. Petrus is now 8 for 9 passing.
Pretty good protection in the pocket, because a route like that takes a while to progress. Royals runs it very well, and Petrus puts it right on his chest.
Gain of 21. Faison has a big hole on the left side. The chains weren't even set. That's how quickly Utah State is snapping it. Gain of 6 more on first down for Faison.
This offense at time, they'll have the ball snapped in 10, 12 seconds. You spot the ball 10, 12 seconds later, they're snapping it.
Pressure up the middle is picked up, and it is picked off. Woodard has the interception, his 3rd of the year, and Jackson Woodard jumps the route and brings it back to the 40. He gets 15 on the return. That is back-to-back takeaways by Jackson Woodard. A fumble recovery on the last possession, and now an INT.
That almost looked like an RPO that they tried to run. Utah State did, and Jackson Woodard just sitting right there. It's thrown right at him. Petrus looked like he didn't even know the linebacker was there. He was actually being blocked at the time. He turns around and finds the ball right in his face.
Remember, he had the dropped INT last week and said he owed his teammates another interception. Well, he's made good. And Woodard, we mentioned again, was a walk-on at Arkansas for Barry Odom when he was defensive coordinator. Says Odom is one of the finest men he's ever known. Was a no-brainer to come play for him at UNLV. And he has captained the UNLV defense's makeover in the last 2 years. That's now 13 takeaways by UNLV's defense, 4 of them from Jackson Woodard.
He's just one of those defensive players, and Barry Odom loves him, but he finds the ball, and the ball finds him.
Williams pulls it, flag down. Williams will take it to the 30 on another good scramble, but we'll check the flag.
Probably holding
injured Aggie.
Probably holding inside there.
Holding. Number 74 offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
William Holmes was the injured Aggie, and that's another injury on the defensive line.
The tackle, 74, Jalen St. John, was who got called for that holding. Watch the helmet to helmet here, but it's defense
fire.
on defense. Yeah. So that's not targeted. If you're on the receiving end of that, you kind of wish it would be, but it's not.
So back him up into 2nd and 18. Williams all day to throw, but nowhere to go with the football. So Williams over the middle just dumps it incomplete. Here comes another flag, this one in the backfield after Williams is knocked to the ground.
I think it might be a late hit on the quarterback.
In which case it'd be automatic first down.
I don't think it could possibly be grounding. He threw the ball where there was a receiver. Now, how bad is roughing the passer? Does he get hit hard? Well, it's definitely being called roughing the passer. He hits him down low, too. That's an area of the body that they're really protecting quarterbacks these days.
Boy, it's a long discussion. They're bringing everybody in on this one, too.
Well, I think they're discussing ineligible receiver that's grounding.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 98, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Nate Dreiling does not agree, but Kean Sloan gets flagged, and you go from having him backed up to automatic first down for UNLV.
Yeah, again, watch where he comes in and hits Hajj Malik Williams. Hits him low, down in the legs. The follow through on the play. You just can't hit a quarterback down there anymore. That used to be no harm, no foul.
Kylan James, big hole on the right side. The senior from Dumas, Arkansas, spent 3 years at FCS Central Arkansas, nearly 2,500 yards of total offense. Had a biggest rush of the year for UNLV against Fresno State when they blew out the Bulldogs.
Nice job by Shanks, the right tackle, and Ballin guy, the tight end.
Whistle before the snap. Timeout, Utah State.
Utah State takes their first time out of the half, their second timeout.
They have 2 timeouts remaining, I think is what Cal McNeil used to tell us. Well, if you're a UNLV football fan who was there through the thin years, and boy were they thin, you are enjoying the last 2 years under Barry Odom, simply one of the biggest turnarounds in recent college football the last 2 years with the former Missouri head coach.
It's top to bottom, and there are very few places in the country that have had better facilities than UNLV. That Fertitta facility they built is amazing. They finally got into Allegiant Stadium. That's a great building to play in. They had 30-something thousand in there last week. It really speaks to what Barry Odom has done. He's got a lot of money behind him and a lot of success in the future.
On 2nd and 2, James bounces it outside, has a first down, takes it inside the 10, trucks the defender at the goal line. He is in. Touchdown, Kylan James, his second rushing touchdown of the night. This one from 22 yards out.
We had some motorcycles cruising the field earlier, and watch him cruise the sideline. He's in there, and he's not out, still not out, runs right through that tackle. That's a touchdown. That'll be a quick, easy review. He made that look way too simple. That's great balance. Running that fast to get to the sideline and be able to turn that into straightforward motion is hard.
Chedden's PAT is good. So for the second straight possession, Jackson Woodard has a takeaway. It was an INT this time, leading to the second rushing touchdown of the night from Kylan James, and UNLV is rolling 31-7. Families affected by Hurricanes Milton and Helene urgently need your support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to people when they need it most. Donate today to Hurricanes Milton and Helene by going to redcross.org/CBS or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. Homecoming here in Logan, Utah, the home of the Aggies, where UNLV has 2 takeaways. They have turned both into touchdowns, and the Rebels lead at 31-7. The scoring drives 4, 7, 8, 4, and 3. So they have been in a hurry for UNLV. And Jackson Woodard has done his part, a fumble recovery and an INT.
Yeah, he's been exactly what we described him. He's been the guy that the ball finds him and he finds the ball carrier. Had that fumble recovery, ball was thrown right to him. We've seen him on the field with numerous tackles already tonight. He's having one of those memorable nights.
5 tackles, a fumble recovery, an interception. We got a long way to go in the second quarter. Manny Powell, another former Razorback turned Rebel, has 7 tackles already. Turner, there's a flag down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Baldwin brings him down. It was Teague Anderson slow getting up for Utah State, but the right tackle's back on his feet.
That was thrown by the referee, so it should be easy to call.
Number 54 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Rough play all around for Teague Anderson. You get a holding and you get banged up.
Well, that's the thing about this defense. The way they play edges. And when you play edges, you get offensive linemen in some bad spots. And T got put in one of those bad spots and had to hold.
Remember Nate Dreiling said field position would be huge. Well, it's advantage UNLV big time. Turner, maybe 4 yards.
Well, probably one of the most telling stats so far is this whole points off turnovers and points off turnover differential for UNLV. That is absolutely insane what they're doing right now when they get turnovers.
They bring both backers. Petrus completes. Hastera has the grab. Now he gets behind. Yeah, didn't turn up field, and he gets 10, but that's not enough. Hastera went the wrong way after the completion.
Nice throw by Petrus, but get up the field. You don't get any bonus points for how many times you can get hit going sideways. Get up the field and get the first.
Hastera has 2 catches for 30. Turner goes in motion. Petrus completes, first down. It's Royals who takes it across the 45. Royals has his 4th catch of this first half. This one goes for 14.
I love the way Royals, when he catches the ball, he has no hesitation of where he's going. He is turning around. He's got that gyroscope. He knows where to go. He's going up the field.
4 catches, 60 yards, so Royals on pace to go over 100 again.
200 last week.
Petrus, time to throw. Check down. Turner gets it, gets blown up as soon as he grabs it by Jet Elad. Plays both safety and linebacker for UNLV.
He tackles like a linebacker.
6th-year player from Ontario, 3 at Ohio, 1 year Garden City Community College. Now his 2nd year as a Rebel.
Yeah, in this defense, having a guy like that that's almost a safety and a linebacker, it's a perfect combination.
Turner falls forward to the 50, but only a yard. That'll make it 3rd and 6, looks like.
You got a guy like Woodard inside. One of the great things about having a DB that can move and hit like that is you got a guy like Woodard inside that covers so much area.
Petrus pressured from behind, slips away, but the Rebels rally to bring him down on 3rd and 6.
This has got to be a punt here.
Martinson brings him down. It's not officially a sack, but still the pressure by Petrus forces him to bring it down. For now, the offense is staying on the field.
You can wish and hope for a first down. I think this is begging to be down 38-7 personally. I'd punt this.
Pressured again. Petrus is picked off again. On 4th down, another interception. The 3rd takeaway. Elad has the INT off of Spencer Petrus.
I guess if you're an optimist, you could say that's a short punt. Get the possession about 15, 20 yards down the field, but you're getting that pressure. You couldn't hold the ball a nanosecond longer than you did. You're trying to get the ball to Royals, your best receiver. But you know what? The defense knows that too. They know pressure causes mistakes, and that was a mistake.
Look at the points off turnover differential for UNLV now with 14 more tonight. 58-7.
That's highly unusual. Let's put it that way.
Williams wastes no time with a deep shot. White pulls it in. What a grab by Ricky White III on the quick change.
And a quick conversation to boot. Well, that one's thrown right in over the top. Talk about persistence. Looking to put that thing away and protect the ball, too. Because, I mean, the only defense the defensive back has at that point is to try to rip that ball away, but he wouldn't let him.
Already 97 receiving yards for White in the first half. Williams chased. He'll take a sack. Back at the 46. Sloan, who had the penalty against him on the last UNLV possession, gets the sack for a loss of 10.
Really nice job down the field, though, by this Utah State defense on that play. There was nowhere to go, and he had plenty of pressure to turn into a sack. I mean, when you don't have enough time to really make a decision to try to throw it where you can throw it away, you know you're playing good defense.
That completion to White was officially 30. So 5 catches, 97 receiving yards in the first half for Ricky White. Setting up a screen. Aggies nearly had it snuffed out, but Burrell slips away and gets to the 36. I mean, they had him in the backfield, but Burrell makes a miss and gets 8.
Now, one of my pet peeves is first tacklers. First guy that gets a chance to make a tackle, you've got to make that tackle. If you make that tackle, you save your defense 10 yards and a first down. I mean, and this has happened time and time again tonight to both defenses. You've seen runners on both sides breaking through and running through tackles. Really sloppy tackling.
That was a big miss from John Ross May. A weird number for UNLV. You put up 328 yards, but you have only 1 third down conversion. So Williams pressured from behind again. He will take off. Williams tackled inside the 30. It's going to be 4th down for UNLV. As Utah State gets another 3rd down stop.
Well, look where he has to go. He gets back here. Now look, where do you go? Can't go there. Not going to go there. Not going to go there. Not going to go there. I mean, that was really nice defense to force this field goal.
Chittenden comes on for a 46-yard attempt. This would be the long of his freshman year. His long so far has been 45. The 46-yarder from Chittenden is good. 3 more on the board for UNLV. So Utah State had a touchdown to cut this game to 14-7. And since then, 3 straight turnovers for Utah State. It's turned into 2 touchdowns and a field goal. We check in with Amanda.
Well, Carter, a couple minutes ago, Utah State head coach Nate Dreiling tried to gather as many of his players around him as possible, and he said, you guys are getting your butts kicked on pre-snap. He did use a different word. I'm not going to say it. He said, look, if you don't over-communicate with one another, you don't have a chance in this game. He tried to emphasize to his team that they are beating themselves. He's trying to make them take a breath when they get to the sideline, play their own style of football. However, you may start to see a little bit of simplification on both sides of the ball.
Well, I'd say certainly on offense when you've turned it over on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah.
Although, as you pointed out, I mean, the 4th down, you're going for it. Might as well get down the field, but still goes as an interception.
Well, you're sitting here at 4-1 if you're UNLV. On the other side, though, Carter, you now have 61 points off turnovers. That's serious winning football.
Touchback will bring it to the 25 again. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. Kiana Martin, Kevin Carter, Brian McFadden, and Beanie Wells will break down this game and get you ready for the big college football weekend, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. And boy, is it a big weekend for college football, including Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas, Oklahoma. And go a long way in determining who's going to be playing for a national championship.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that Ohio State and Oregon game.
Screen, Ostero. Minimal gain on first down. Jalen Catalon rallies to the football.
You know, last week, I think Michigan was surprised how tough it was to go to Seattle and play Washington. They ended up getting beat. Ohio State's going to find out that Autzen Stadium and going to Eugene is not an easy place to play football.
That's an elite college football environment. Petrus leaves it low, intended for Royals. 3rd down in a hurry.
Petrus rips that thing out there pretty good, and he got about halfway there, and he's not happy about the way it went.
Well, remember, in their last game, Utah State gave up 49 points in the first half to Boise State. As Genty ran all over him in the first half, as Petrus is drilled by Elad as soon as he releases the football on 3rd down. And UNLV forces a quick 3-and-out by Utah State after 3 straight drives ended in turnovers.
We mentioned he's a DB that hits like a linebacker. You ask Petrus right now, he'd agree with you that he hits like a linebacker. He about caved him in on the inside. I mean, that takes some guts to stand in that pocket, knowing that hit's coming, but he had nowhere to go with the ball.
3 plays in just 30 seconds, and Utah State gives it right back. I mean, what's worse, a 30-second possession or a turnover? Take your pick. Kotzenle will punt it away. Well, we have a delay of game coming. Didn't get it off in time.
Prior to the snap, delay game, number 63 offense. 5-yard penalty, remain 4th down.
They're going to have to put some time back on the clock, too. It's still running. They're going to have to take a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, here they go.
Yeah, here they go.
Like
3:07.
3:07
Please
on
put
the clock.
3:07 on the game clock.
It's still running.
3:07. Game clock will start on my signal. On the snap.
That's a big differential.
Times like that.
Remember, UNLV has 3 blocked punts already this year. They stunt up front, bring some pressure on Kotzenle. On the fly, DeJesus has it, has a block. DeJesus still in bounds. He's near the 30-yard line. DeJesus brings it back on the short punt from Kotzenle, and UNLV will have another short field.
Well, what a great decision by DeJesus to catch that thing and just go. You see that lack of hesitation? That is what makes a really great kick returner, is a guy that can catch the ball in that situation and just run as fast as you can straight ahead.
A 23-yard return for DeJesus, so you have a chance to extend this great run. Just a 1 punt by UNLV, and the last 3 have all been off turnovers. Williams trying to set up a screen, chased from behind, and he will take a sack on 1st down. Sloan and Falatea get to Williams this time.
Now, that's what Coach Dreiling was trying to tell his team on the sideline. You got to attack. You got to be physical. You got to get after him. And that's exactly what they did on that play. They made the mistake. They gave up that punt return. And the first thing they do is they put a negative play on him.
2nd sack. Sloan has been in on both for Utah State. Thomas takes the handoff, tripped up as he gets through the line. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and Sloan makes another stop. After the penalty, he has bounced back with a sack, gets the stop there. 3rd and 11. We'll see if UNLV wants to snap it before the 2-minute timeout.
Doesn't look like it.
They do not. So UNLV pouring it on with 3 takeaways on defense, 34 on the board on the road. In this Friday night Mountain West Conference matchup, UNLV 34-7 on the road at Utah State. 3 ranked versus ranked tomorrow, including Texas versus Oklahoma and Dallas. Penn State is on the road at USC on CBS at 3:30 Eastern. Then Ole Miss at LSU. And Ohio State on the road at Oregon in Eugene. And that, yes, odd Big Ten clash, but big win for Ohio State on the road against number 3 Oregon.
Yeah, the games of the day are the first one and the last one. I mean, that Red River, for some reason, and it's inexplicable, Texas has not played well against Oklahoma. Now, this has been a very unusual Texas team. They've played great in big games. They've done a really nice job so far. They've got to play well tomorrow. They've got to beat Oklahoma. They've got a shot at being a national champion.
And who do you have in Ohio State, Oregon?
I've got the home team.
The Ducks.
The Ducks.
3rd and 11 here. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Williams to the air to White. Hauls it in. Dives. Touchdown UNLV. This one goes for 32. The 3rd passing touchdown of the night from Haj Malik Williams. The 2nd one to Ricky White III.
Well, you have any doubt as to why they call this the go-go offense? Because they do go for it. They don't mind stretching you. They don't mind the RPO. They'll run the quarterback. And they obviously love to use White doing a lot of different things.
Well, it was Ashton Jeanty against Utah State in the first half last week. This one, Ricky White III. He now has 8 receiving touchdowns on the year. Already 128 receiving yards tonight for the 5th-year senior from Marietta, Georgia.
Yeah, we keep saying the go-go offense, and Brennan Marion, and he talks to a lot of people. They love what he's doing because it's a little bit of everything. It's got a little triple option routes. It's got the RPO. It's got the pin and pull in the running game. And as you've seen with Ricky White III, they love taking those shots down the field. And when you've got a quarterback that can throw the way that Haj Malik Williams can, you're lucky as an offensive coordinator because he's got great accuracy down the field.
And a lot like the NFL offenses that are in vogue now, the so-called Kyle Shanahan offenses, a lot out of two-back, but you see more option in this offense at the college level.
Yeah, they don't mind running the quarterback in the college level. And the pro level, that's a recipe for disaster to expose your quarterback.
With the money invested in those guys, right. That'll be a touchback to the 25. Let's check in with Amanda.
Well, Carter, you and Randy were talking about the go-go offense with Brennan Marion. He actually wrote a book about it a couple of years ago. And as you guys alluded to, many NFL teams have bought this book. They have adopted some of his schemes there. Now, as for the name, the go-go offense, I absolutely love this story. When he was at Howard, he knew nothing about the D.C. area. His mom said, you got to listen to go-go music. Played it at practice one day, loved the upbeat tempo. He said, that's the name right there.
Love it. It has worked, the go-go offense. And quick completion. Remember, Utah State's last possession just went 30 seconds. Marion played his college football at Tulsa on a staff with Todd Graham, Gus Malzahn, and Mike Norvell, who all went on to successful coaching stints, although Florida State not so much this year. Petrus winds up, completes downfield. Hystera bobbles it, but holds it in.
That was a pretty amazing catch. If you watch where his body isn't, that ball is so far behind him, he has to totally twist and contort his body back to catch it.
4 catches by Hystera. Faison the first down carry after the 24-yard gain from Hystera.
Be aware of the ball if you're Utah State. It's going to be under a minute real quick here.
Petrus winds up, complete. That's Otto Tia for a first down. Tia, who had his first touchdown catch last week on a great 6-yard catch. That one a 9-yard grab. Clock stops temporarily. Under 2 minutes.
Just started again. 3 timeouts for Utah State still.
Pressure up the middle. Slant, Tia. Back-to-back catches by Otto Tia, the junior from Layton, Utah. Missed half of last year with a hamstring injury.
46 seconds, and now you have 2 timeouts left. Check that, 1 timeout.
Utah State just uses its second timeout. I mean, it's 41-7, but here's the silver lining for Utah State. You deferred, you get the football to begin the second half, so you have a chance to double up here into the first half.
A double possession, and that's every coach's goal is to win that last 4 and first 4 of the second half. But they're looking for little victories here. Utah State is finishing the drive, putting the cherry on this Sunday for the first half. So important, I think, for Coach Dreiling and company. Little something positive to talk about in the locker room after this first half.
Petrus out of the shotgun. Surveys, completes inside the 20. Brock Lane has the catch. Red zone trip, first down, gain of 13. Here come flags at the end of the play.
That's going to be a little unnecessary activity there.
It is already a first down.
It'll move the ball even closer to the goal line.
Mm-hmm. Another long discussion as to who this one going to be adjudicated against. Utah State's backing up.
After the play, personal foul, late hit number 54 of the offense. 15 yards, first down, Utah State.
That is just a killer. Teague Anderson, he's had a rough first half.
Tough first half, but here he comes, bang, into the pile. He was, you know what, he wasn't the first one to go into the pile. He was the second one to go into the pile. It's kind of like swinging and getting in fights. It's always the second guy who gets caught.
So now you back it up to first down, but all the way back at the 32, Petrus takes off. Petrus dives forward inside the 25, but the clock is rolling.
Plenty of time. Don't panic. Don't rush. You've got a play called. Run it.
Fake it to Faison. Petrus winds up, throwing to the edge. It's Tia who makes the catch again. It's a first down, and he's out of bounds.
Completed catch inbounds.
Inbounds, but the clock stops at 13 seconds.
That was a beautiful catch, by the way.
Ruling of the field, completed pass is under further review.
Because that foot, I believe, just did drag. I mean, the toe of the foot just did drag inbounds. Watch the feet. Go up, you got it. Foot, bang. Yep. Now, possession-wise, how's the ball? Does it move? Does he catch it and put it away? When he's contacted, does it move? That right foot is in, so that completes the catch. Right there. That's in. I think there's green between the heel and the white stripe. Yep, you can see it. That right foot, it was the toe came down, the heel came down, but there was still green on the outside. That was a catch. The ball did not move, so he controlled the ball through the catch.
The other question mark on that is, you heard Cal McNeil, the referee, say it's a catch inbounds, but if that's a catch, he's out of bounds. But we'll see. That's just a timing issue. You have one timeout. If it is a catch, that's a first down. The clock stops temporarily on the first down. And our replay official,
He
Jesse
caught it
Peterson.
in bounds, but he was on his way out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the hesitation, besides getting the right angle, and I think we showed them enough of an angle there to say that it was a catch, that there was room in there. The other part of it is, where was the clock?
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling of a completed catch stands.
So not enough to overturn it.
One more time. Watch the catch. Watch the right foot. The right foot right here. Toe, heel. And there's room between the heel and the white on the out of bounds. Beautiful job by Tia. Big receiver, 6'4", about 210.
Clock is stopped. So they got the timing right there as well. Petrus has to check it down. It is bobbled and caught. Here comes another flag. Faison makes the catch, but another flag is down. Faison bobbled that one and left it up for grabs again.
There were some hits after the whistle. Once they had blown that whistle, guys still piling in there. I mean, 4 seconds, you have no choice but to kick a field goal. Unless you just want to try for a touchdown. But I think taking the points is a smart thing to do. Get the ball after the end of the half. So the whistle's blowing right around here.
Oh, looked like Faison may have gotten the face mask of Correa.
Oh,
yes,
he did have the face
the
mask.
Offensive player with the face mask. Faison on Charles Correa.
Good catch.
Rarely seen.
The offensive face mask?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After the play, personal foul, face mask, number 3, Utah State. 15 yards from the end of run. First down. Second down.
So think about this possession for Utah State. You drive it down at the end of the half, then you have Teague Anderson with a late hit on the offense, and then a face mask on the offense.
Well, it just turned into a 47-48 field goal for a team that doesn't kick field goals particularly well.
They have not. Cragen's long is 36 versus Boise State. He took over after Elliot Nimrod missed 4 straight opportunities. So you add it up, and the kickers are just 4 for 8 combined this year for Utah State. I mean, Nimrod had a 50-yarder And will be interesting to see whether they bring out Cragen. They said Nimrod would kick around a 50-yarder, but looks like they're going to give Cragen, the freshman, the opportunity here at the end of the half.
Yeah, I mean, given the lack of success of the kickers, too, and here comes Nimrod, are you better off putting the ball in Petrus's hand and throw a ball into the end zone? I mean, that's about a 50-50 catch in the end zone, and your field goal is about a 50-50 proposition. One gets you 3, one gets you 6.
It will be Nimrod to come out to kick it again. He's missed 4 straight since he hit 3 versus Robert Morris, but he is the long-distance field goal kicker. This one from 47. It's a fake. Nimrod on the roll. He's going to tuck it, and he will be knocked out of bounds, and that is the end of the half on a fake field goal, but there is another flag
There's a
down.
Flag on the field.
UNLV's run into the locker room, but they're going to bring him back to the sideline. There's a flag on the field with zeros on the clock on a busted fake field goal attempt at the end of the half.
Talk about ending the half in a dull thud. That's
back-to-back offensive penalties and then a busted fake field goal. Here's the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Utah State bench. That 15 yards will be assessed at the opening of the second half kickoff.
That is a meltdown at the end of the half. A late hit on an offensive lineman, a face mask on a receiver.
How do you not put the ball in your quarterback's hands and throw the ball into the end zone if you're going to let a kicker throw and or run? Talk about a dull splat at the end of the half.
Fake field goal bust, and you have another penalty that'll be assessed to begin the second half. All UNLV 41-7 at the half at Utah State. (41-7) UNLV on Utah State at the half. Our first half stats brought to you by Kubota. 3 turnovers by Utah State turns into 17 points for UNLV. Carter Blackburn, Randy Cross, Amanda Guerra on the sideline. All right, another really bad first half for Utah State. 41 on the board, but the way that half ended for the Aggies, how do you forget that?
Well, number one, you spent the last 20 minutes in that locker room trying to flush that experience out of your brain. I mean, you almost had to have an exorcism in the locker room. Come out here, run your offense. You got the ball. Do things differently. You can't keep doing what you've been doing, which is turning the ball over and giving up a lot of points to a superior team.
Speaking of the turnovers, UNLV with 3 in the first half. The Rebels on the season now are plus 11 turnover margin. They turn them into 17 points. It was 3 straight possessions. UNLV had to take away 2 of them from Woodard.
Yeah, Woodard getting the first the fumble, then he gets the ball thrown right to him. Then you get the interception later on as Utah State was driving down the field. But how about the day that Ricky White III has had so far? I mean, he's had a great day, but each of these passes were very nice catches, but they were beautiful throws by Taj Malik Williams. I mean, perfect throws.
So Ricky White III has the explosive first half this week against Utah State. 6 catches, 128 yards. Last week it was Ashton Genty with 186 rushing yards in the first half. That's a little squib kick to the 25. There's a flag down. Remember, the last penalty at the end of the first half was 15 yards against Utah State. So UNLV kicks off from the 50, but a flag is down.
Were they offsides?
Squib opening kick, not a onside kick, but a squib.
I mean, the flag is right there by where they kicked off, so maybe somebody got a little bit too anxious and got ahead of themselves and started early.
Offsides, number 23 of the kicking team. 5 yards to be added to the end of the kick. First down.
There's the penalty. We check in again with Amanda.
Well, Carter, I appreciate what Randy was saying about this Utah State team at half. And head coach Nate Dreiling is not mincing his words anymore with his team. He said, if you guys can't get your minds right, you're never going to win a football game. In fact, he told them, if you cannot change your mindset right now, don't bother coming out on the field.
Yikes. Petrus completes the lane to begin the second half for Utah State. That is a gut check speech from your 33-year-old interim head coach, Nate Dreiling.
And your first play is kind of a gut check play, reacting to that speech by Dreiling. Put your head down, you bust through a couple tackles, you make some positive yards. Just build on it.
Faison gets the carry on first down. Brock Lane had that 15-yard catch to get it started in the second half. We asked Nate Dreiling, so what were the injuries for Brock Lane? What's the injury? He said, you can pick it. That's how banged up the fifth-year senior tight end has been this year. Finally settled on, all right, we'll just call it lower body injury for Brock Lane, but he's back. He is the youngest head coach, interim head coach. Again, his last job, defensive coordinator at New Mexico State under Jerry Kill when they turned that moribund program around.
Yeah, seems like just yesterday G.J. Kenny was playing football. He was a quarterback.
Otto Tia takes it to the 44. Gain of 6. And Dreiling got the job July 2nd as the interim head coach when Blake Anderson was fired for a significant off-the-field issue. Dreiling was going to be defensive coordinator this year for Utah State, so now he's DC with a very banged-up defensive line and interim head coach.
You have short-term goals right now. He told his team what he told them at halftime. You just got to finish this drive. Look at that run.
Turner's still on his feet. Has a first down and more. Well, we talked about gut check. Herschel Turner Jr. passes the test.
Well, Turner Jr., he's showing exactly. He's embodying what his head coach was talking about. He was taking it to Las Vegas, UNLV.
A true freshman from Richmond, California.
Now, can you finish it off? And can you avoid stopping yourself? Because they're in similar position just at the end of the first half.
Petrus, the 7th-year senior quarterback, on the roll on first down. Chased, Petrus will just dump it out of bounds. Well outside the tackle box, it's Jackson Woodard bringing the pressure on Petrus.
Oh, there is nowhere to go with this ball. Watch the receivers as they go downfield. You can't go there. You aren't going there. You aren't going there. You aren't going there. You got nowhere to go. I mean, you could go out here immediately. That'd be probably the best idea. But there's a defender there, too. Nice defense.
Petrus had thrown only 3 interceptions for Utah State, although he missed 2 games with injury, but 2 in the first half. Completes the lane. Another grab for the 5th-year senior tight end. That's a gain of 7 more.
UNLV is only showing 3 rushers. The linebackers, now you got 2 blitzers.
Faison runs right past him and has a first down. Another tough run for Faison. That is his 12th carry of the game. Rasul Faison from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Fake it to him. Petrus delivers, caught, touchdown. Astera hauls it in from 24 yards out. 3rd touchdown catch of the year for Jack Astera. And finally something to celebrate again for Utah State. Petrus with a touchdown pass.
Well, the Aggies head coach, Coach Dreiling, he challenged him at the half. Amanda told you what he told them. This team took it to heart, and they reacted, and they made it pay off in the first possession.
Tanner Cragen on for the extra point. Well, in the first half, it was the turnovers by the Utah State offense that was the story, including 2 interceptions thrown by Spencer Petrus. But the first-year Aggie has a TD pass to begin the second half.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
It has been a lovely week, turning into a lovely weekend in Logan, Utah, except for the score on the board. Even with the touchdown by Utah State, they trail UNLV 41-14 in what Barry Odom was hoping would be a bounce-back game for his Rebels after their first loss of the season last Friday in overtime to Syracuse. But a UNLV win puts them at 5-1 on the season and, more importantly, 2-0 in Mountain West Conference play. Played for the Mountain West Conference Championship for the first time last season. Founding member of the Mountain West Conference back to 1999, they have never won a Mountain West Conference football title. Nimrod's kick is short, fielded right around the 20-yard line. James has it across the 30. Stiff arm brings him out of bounds at the 38, so good field position again for UNLV. 41 on the board in the first half for UNLV. That's the most they have ever scored against an FBS opponent in a first half.
And if you're wondering out there, okay, big lead. Last week, Genty and Boise State, they didn't play Genty. They made a lot of substitutions. I think Boise State's a very established football team. Barry Odom, I think, has a different approach with his football team. They have not exactly arrived yet. I think you play these guys, you go hard with the pedal down for another couple possessions before you make any kind of substitutions.
You saw that number 49 on the board in the first half last week against Utah State, 41 in the first half this week. And that's 12 more rushing yards for Jaden Jet Thomas. So the first half possessions, hard to get much better than that. Just the one punt for UNLV, including 17 points off of 3 Utah State turnovers.
Well, first half, they averaged 10.2 yards per play.
Eesh.
First play in the second half was 12 yards.
Hard to improve on that. Toss, it's DeJesus again. DeJesus with the same play that they began the game with from scrimmage. DeJesus gets the shovel, gets 12 here. First time they tried it, went for 37. This one goes for 12.
And both of them, in case you're curious, those are passes. Those aren't runs. So that goes into the book on Williams' side, the quarterback, as a pass.
Give it to Thomas on first down. Dragging the defender Vincent with him for a gain of 7.
Remember what we talked about earlier about the injuries on the Utah State defense? This is what you do. You run. You see the amount of points that they've given up, this active streak, 38 plus points, 5 straight games.
Thomas takes it again on 2nd and 3. Thomas has the corner. Thomas has the 10. Stretching. He has a touchdown. Jaden Jet Thomas from 29 yards out. The 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for UNLV.
Yep, you're going to get a lot of you saw the variations of the go-go offense. One of them was the option in the running game. You're going to see a lot of running game in this second half. Thomas running the ball, other runners. He stays in, he stays up, and his lead stretches.
Thomas has his first 100-yard rushing game as a Rebel. 9 carries, 108 yards. The PAT is no good from Chittenden. But still a celebration for UNLV as Jaden Thomas into the end zone. Touchdown Rebels. They have 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. The onslaught is on. Tomorrow on CBS, it's a big-time matchup at 3:30 Eastern with 4th-ranked Penn State facing their toughest test of the season when they go on the road to face USC. The Big Ten is on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. So Penn State is 5-0 again, but the path to 6-0 is going to be tough on the road at USC.
Everybody but Miami has the chance to make the same kind of mistakes Alabama made last week.
A new kickoff for UNLV because Chittenden was injured on this PAT. Watch him roll his ankle.
I mean, pretty obvious. He limps from the jump right there. It's that plant foot, that left ankle he put down, and it kind of wobbled.
So it was Andre Miono, the backup kicker, who handled that kickoff for UNLV after the missed PAT and the injury to Chittenden. So they'll take it from the 25. Petrus delivers complete. Royals has the catch again. The bright spot for Utah State has been Royals. That's his 5th catch so far tonight.
Well on his way to another 100-plus yard game, because Petrus is going to have to keep hitting him.
The motion phase on out. Petrus pumps. Petrus incomplete. Looks like Oliver goes right through Hystera. No flag on the play. It's a pass breakup. Let's check in with Amanda.
Carter, talking about Jalen Royals there, you know, we see players jumping into the portal all the time, going after that NIL money. Well, he had the opportunity to do that. His offensive coordinator told us instead of looking at the cash, him and his dad sat down and they looked at other players who made the jump and how it worked out. Ultimately, he decided he wanted to stay here at Utah State and with his OC.
And really a effusive praise not only for Jalen Royals but for the Royals family.
Yeah.
And a guy who's 6'2", 205 and runs a clocked time of 4.29 in the 40. They're excited about his pro day and combine coming up.
Says a lot too about Mike Shear, the offensive coordinator, and their relationship.
That pass is delivered to Hystera. He has his 6th catch for Utah State. $19-yard pickup here.
I like what Utah State's bringing here in the second half. They're not lightening up, they're not letting up, and they're executing. They're staying on the field. Last drive, they didn't stop themselves. Let's see if they can do it 2 drives in a row.
Hystera had 6 catches on the season coming in, 6 catches tonight, 100 yards. That one's bobbled but caught by Will Money. Just his 3rd catch of his sophomore season.
Boom. See, watch the end of this play. There's an argument at times to be made that offensive players can target too. They start putting their heads down into contact.
Turner, first down carry, stood up after a gain of maybe 3. Jackson Woodard leads the way for the UNLV defense. Woodard now has 9 tackles to lead all tacklers, but Baldwin has 8, Elad has 8, Powell has 7. I mean, it's been talked about so much about the UNLV offense, but 3 takeaways by the defense, a bunch of tackles. Complete again to Money, 2nd catch of the drive. He had only 2 catches prior to this drive, 2 catches for Money. As we take a look at our Red Zone, brought to you by Verizon. 2 trips tonight, 1 touchdown. Turner gets it. He will be dropped for a loss on the first down carry. Woodard again gets in there on the stop along with Conley.
Royals is up at the top of the screen. He'd be the guy, if you're going to take a shot, you're going to take a chance, that'd be the guy you take it with.
Woodard officially 10 tackles in the game now. 10 tackles, fumble recovery, INT. Pretty good night for your 5th-year senior, a former walk-on. I'll take this down and use a timeout. I don't know if Nate Dreiling wanted to see fight from his Aggies in the second half. I mean, they do give up the touchdown, but at least you're competitive, which is what, I mean, they showed good competitiveness in the game against Boise State last week in the second half. It was mostly the 2s out there for Boise State against the 1s for Utah State, but there was still good effort on tape, as they say, in the second half.
Yeah, I thought what Amanda said sort of conveyed his message. That's kind of what needs to be said in that situation. You don't, as a player, you don't want to hear it. That's the last thing you usually want to hear. Because in your soul, you figured that out all by yourself. You need to be screamed at it by the guys coaching you. But, you know, it's a necessary thing. And Petrus right here has come out in this second half, and he's been doing nothing but flat gunning it.
I mean, you take away the interceptions in the first half. Petrus, 279 passing yards, 4 for 5 on this drive. I mean, the yards and the total plays pretty even. It's just the 3 turnovers, the big difference in the game. Petrus, through his progressions in the pocket, slips away from the first Rebel defender, tosses to the end zone, caught, touchdown, Utah State. Jalen Royals hauls it in. Petrus has his second touchdown pass in his many drives.
Jalen Royals, that's your guy. Petrus, when he had to move around, Royals adjusted to his quarterback, and then his quarterback found him. Did he catch it? Did he catch it through the catch? Yes, he did. They're trying to rip it out. He gets his hands on it, and he's got it. So he's got a great relationship with his dad, too. He talked about the relationship with his coach. His dad's awful proud, and he doesn't miss a game.
Royals has 4 touchdown catches in the last 3 games. Last year, a school record 15 touchdown grabs. That's 5 in 2024 for Jalen Royals. But still a long way to go in the third. We've got 68 points, 827 yards of combined offense in this game, and Jalen Royals has the last scoring punch for Utah State. He's been nothing short of terrific in his Aggie career.
He really has been, and you know, Amanda was talking about that relationship he has with his offensive coordinator, Mike Shearer, and kid really is something. Didn't take the money. Stayed for the relationships, stayed for the improvement. Stuff like that is noted by NFL scouts too, and he's going to be a good one on the next level.
Freshman year at Georgia Military College. We've had trouble with the really not that much wind, but the ball's flopping off the tee a little bit here. Before.
Well, I think it swoops through this little valley right here where the stadium is in. You get some pretty good wind coming from left to right.
Elliot Nimrod handling the kickoff duties for Utah State. The left-footed kicker. That one will bounce near the goal line, out of bounds to the 35. Kick out of bounds by Elliot Nimrod.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
All right, Randy, let's take a look at who you have so far in the Mountain West Conference. I think it's a pretty easy pick, the Offensive Player of the Year.
It sure is. It sure is. Ashton Genty might be the best player in the country. I mean, without doubt, I think a Heisman type of a year for Genty. Catalan Defensive Player, Special Teams, Ricky White the third. And I think the job that Kenny Niumatalolo has done at San Jose State has been amazing.
End-around toss goes to Bradley. Jaden Bradley takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 6 more on first down for Jaden Bradley, the junior who played at Pitt and Charlotte and now a Rebel.
I got my offensive coordinators confused there. It's Kyle Cefalo from Utah State that has that great relationship.
Good point.
Yeah.
With Jalen and the Royals family.
Jalen and the family and all that.
Kylan James is in the backfield. 93 rushing yards for James, 108 for Thomas. And James is ridden down, tackled for loss. Lolo Hea leads the way for Utah State.
Yeah, here's one where the first tackler stops you, and then the second tackler gets you. And you've seen the running backs for both teams go through some tackles, but not off Lolo Hea there.
Third tackle for loss by the Utah State defense. Again, only 2 third down conversions for UNLV, but 47 points on the board. Williams pressured out of the pocket. He'll take off. He'll get popped at the 42. It's going to be 4th and 3 coming up for UNLV. And looks like the punter, Marshall Nichols, is coming on for the Rebels.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy decision to go ahead and punt this thing.
It'll be just the second punt of the night for UNLV. Nichols in his 3rd year as a Rebel punter after a redshirt year at Mississippi State. Nichols contacted, no flags. Fair catch by Davis for Utah State. 42-yard punt, Aggie football. Tomorrow, get ready for a jam-packed day of college football on CBS Sports Network starting at noon Eastern with a battle between UAB and undefeated Army. Then it's a triple header of Mountain West action highlighted by number 17 Boise State taking on Hawaii in our final matchup at 11. What has already been a historical run, literally, for Ashton Jeanty. 1988 Barry Sanders, they said nobody could ever top that. The numbers for Ashton Jeanty are comparable and better rushing yards-wise so far for the Boise State back.
And like Barry Sanders, the review of the person off the field are as high as you can get.
And remember those numbers for Jeanty. He's taken 2 second halves off already, so it's -1 game. That's Petrus. He's outside the tackle box, dumps it out of bounds. Doyle chases him. All right, the gut check challenge from Nate Dreiling for the Aggies. The offense, and led by Spencer Petrus, has responded.
They've executed, and they've taken advantage of the things that they can do, and it's got to make Coach Dreiling very, very happy to see his offense doing that.
Petrus, who spent a total of 6 years at Iowa, injured, was just a coach on the sideline last year. Misses that pass low for Royals. But mentioned earlier, I mean, you got to talk about two different offenses, what Iowa does and what Utah State does, spreading you out and hurrying up. Yeah. Very different.
Pretty different contrast between the two. Quarterbacks love to play in an offense like this. The other one at Iowa, much more restricting. Much more ground-based, too.
Low snap, handled by Petrus. Time to throw, delivers incomplete.
That was
intended
early.
For Brock Lane. No flag. The Aggies certainly wanted it. It was intended for Lane.
That's 2 plays in a row. It's looked like a little early contact. One was a hold and one was just early. Is the ball there? Yeah, maybe that was just good defense. Little left hand on the hip.
Had the interception in the first half. Knocks this one away. This possession for Utah State, just 14 seconds.
Watch out for a block here.
Kotzenle rolls away from the pressure. Gets a good one off. Fair catch by DeJesus right around the 45-yard line. 40-yard punt from Kotzenle. Haj Malik Williams in start number 3 for UNLV. He missed some passes early, but 3 touchdown passes on the night for Haj Malik Williams.
Yeah, he's gotten some pressure. He's had some passes where he's had to get rid of it quickly and hasn't been accurate. But he had 3 passes to Ricky White III that are about as pretty as you're going to see.
Dual threat quarterback, only 17 rushing yards in the game for Haj Malik Williams, but he's escaped some pressure. Throws that one dangerous, nearly picked. It would have been a pick 6. Ike Larson was almost going the other way for the Aggies.
Well, you see a receiver break on the ball all the time. Well, Ike Wilson breaks on the ball as a defensive back. That ball, watch it go through his hands. Right there. Oh, he just gets the left hand on it. Couldn't quite get the right hand to get in there, too. Trying to get that ball to White.
Thomas on the read, takes it across the 50-yard line. Jaden Thomas, who had an ankle injury early this year, kind of slowed him, but the coaches, Mary Odom and offensive coordinator Brendan Marion, thought that he would be coming on, and sure enough, he has his first 100-yard rushing game as a Rebel in this game with 108 rushing yards for Jaden Thomas.
The speed and the hops we've seen out of him tonight, there's not much wrong with that ankle now.
Both Moore and the tight end Belengai go in motion on 3rd and 3. Williams pulls it, tries to find the edge, slips away from the Aggie defender and has a first down. Ike Larson had a bead on Haj Malik Williams, but again, Williams has the better of him, 10-yard run.
Now there's the difference in this offense with Haj Malik Williams in at quarterback. They didn't have that element. The extremely athletic quarterback that has the speed and the ability to just outrun and out-athlete people at times.
Well, you probably know about Matthew Sluka leaving after 3 games, but I mean the quarterback position at UNLV, you had Jaden Mayava transferred to USC, Doug Brumfield medically retired, and that's why you bring in Matthew Sluka as a transfer from Holy Cross, Haj Malik Williams transfer from Campbell. Let him fight it out. And Haj Malik Williams told us this week when he did not get the job out of training camp, he said, I was hurt, but asked myself, who do I want to be as a man? And stayed engaged both with film and with leadership on this team. So he was ready for that odd circumstance to take over as quarterback after Sluka left.
Well, when Sluka left and he came out the way he did, a lot of people around the country went, how was he not a starter to start with?
Thomas dropped for loss on 2nd and 3. John Ross May gets the tackle for loss -3.
Now that's just penetration. He doesn't want to be tackled. Sometimes you just got to make the healthy decision and go down.
5 tackles for loss by the Utah State defense. 3 shift across for UNLV. So trip set in a bunch. Give it to Thomas on 3rd and 5. Thomas, boy, another good push.
What a roll out of
He got
contact.
6.
That first contact, he stopped and he spins out of it and he gets another 3 or 4 yards after that first contact.
13 carries, 119 rushing yards now with the sophomore from Atlanta Westlake High School. 2-back look again with Moore at fullback. Thomas follows the fullback. Moore on the edge. Gets at least 9 more before J.D. Drew makes the stop. There's an injured Aggie.
Well, what a lead block.
3 starts for Sluka, 3 starts for Haj Malik Williams, and you can see the numbers are all favorable for the guy who was the backup coming out of camp. The injured Aggie is Clyde Washington, the middle linebacker, and that's the last thing that Utah State needs is another injury on the defense.
Yeah, last play, Carter, they were in his formation and had 2 backs to the left side of the quarterback. Watch the lead block right here. Whack. Whoa. That is a pancake block.
Well, that's Washington.
They're looking at that ankle at left leg. He got depleted.
May takes a knee with him. He showed you at the very beginning of this game the 6 defensive linemen who are all out for the season or possibly out for the season for Utah State. Washington's a linebacker. Well, thankfully, Washington, at least he's sitting up at this point.
Yeah, it's that left leg.
Washington, who spent 4 years at Purdue, started 3 games last year. First year as an Aggie. And he is hobbling significantly towards the Aggie sideline.
I mean, Christian Moore, the tight end, was lined up as a fullback. That's who hit him on that play. And I don't think it was the hit itself where he got injured. I think the follow-through when Moore went to the ground on him was when the leg got contorted.
So we'll likely see John Miller, the former Oregon State Beaver, take over linebacker for Washington. In fact, Miller is out there with Logan Peely right now. Healy, a former BYU Cougar. So they're both on the field right now for 2nd and 1. Kylan James now in the backfield with Williams. Moore in there at fullback again. James tries the left side after Moore was blocking on the right side. That's enough for a first down in the red zone for UNLV. James now has 93 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Thomas, who had only 159 yards rushing on the year, puts up 134, and we're not done with the third quarter.
Yeah, we expected there were a lot of yards to be made today. With six defensive tackles out. Bad snap.
Williams brought down back at the 45. Sloan brings him down for the sack, but it's another center quarterback issue out of the gun for Jack Haas and Haj Malik Williams.
It's a 15-plus yard oops. No telling how far that would have gone if Williams hadn't at least slowed it down.
Minus 17.
I can tell you from perspective of a center, anytime you're snapping the ball, it can be kind of a nightmare when it doesn't go right. You know it. You feel it.
Pressure up the middle. Thomas runs right into the pressure. 3 Aggie defenders bring him down after a gain of 4. Prior to that carry, UNLV was over 7 yards per rush on the game.
So you notice a difference in pace now, UNLV here in the second half. Not as frenetic.
They're not going to snap it before the end of the third quarter. So we'll head to the fourth with UNLV in pursuit of its 5th straight road win. 47-21, headed to the fourth. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Rebels 47-21 on the Aggies. Start of the fourth quarter. During the break, Amanda spoke with UNLV head coach Barry Odom.
Coach, you told us you knew this Aggie team was going to come out punching at halftime. What can you expect from you guys here in the fourth quarter to try to lock it up?
Well, we need to find a way to get some points here on this drive. We know it's a long ways from over. We got to go play. Need to make a couple stops on defense, get off the field on third down, and take care of the football.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.
Haj Malik Williams out of the gun on third down and 22. Keep it on the ground. Jaden Jett Thomas tackled for a loss. So just running the football on third and very long to begin the fourth. And it looks like Williams is going to, the offense is going
Probably
to
stay out there
for now. On 4th and 24. No snapping on 4th and 24. Williams steps up. And he'll be dropped. It's a sack. And Utah State stops UNLV on 4th down. Olival gets the sack for the Aggies.
I don't look at that as being greedy. I look at that as giving your offense a chance to execute and see what they can do in a tough spot.
You also have the injured kicker,
Yep.
Caden Chittenden. Remember, he missed the PAT and looked like he injured his leg. So factor that in as well for going forward on 4th and very long.
You know, he sprained the heck out of that thing, wobbled pretty good, his ankle.
So Petrus and the Aggies take over, and that's back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on first down. Keith Conley Jr. gets the stop for UNLV as some more backups are in there for UNLV at this point. The big number where there was 3 straight turnovers by Utah State in the first half that turned into 17 points. 61-7, the points off turnover differential now for UNLV. Woodard gets the pass breakup, incomplete, intended for Turner.
Yeah, Petrus is 28 of 39 for 298 yards.
And T. Anderson's down again for Utah State. His long night continues. Woodard with the pass breakup, 10 tackles. a fumble recovery, an INT, and a pass breakup in the game.
Yeah, it was Teague Anderson getting run over from behind there on the top of the screen during that pass protection. I can always tell you from experience, when you get run over like that from the back, it scares you a lot more than it hurts.
So the Aggies are quickly into 3rd and 11. Trey Anderson takes over at right tackle for the injured Teague Anderson. Snap, pressure coming on 3rd down. It's picked up, pass is caught, but short of the line to gain. It's a 10-yard gain on 3rd and 11. So 4th down, you're down 47-21. You, of course, go for it.
4th and about half a yard. You got some hard-nosed running backs back there.
We haven't seen Faison. He actually left the game in the 3rd quarter, so Faison's on the bench right now. Looks like Petrus on the sneak has the 1st down conversion. They will move the chains as Petrus picks up the 1st down on the ground.
Yeah, he gets about a yard and a half on that sneak.
Anderson is back in at right tackle for Utah State, and here's Russell Faison back into the game for the Aggies. That's a positive sign not only for this game, but moving forward with Anderson and Faison both able to come back in the game for Utah State.
Yeah, and right now this is just still about, for Utah State, it's about executing. You've been challenged to execute and stay on the field as an offense.
Fake it to Faison, throw to the sideline. Royals has the catch, stays inbounds, takes it inside the 30. The 7th catch of the night for Jalen Royals, goes for 27.
Yep, he's inside inbounds the whole time. Nice play.
Petrus fakes the handoff. Toss complete. Hestera has his 7th catch. Both Hestera and Royals have 7 catches for Utah State.
Royals is now up to 112 yards with his 7 catches.
Hestera had 6 catches all year coming in, 7 in this game. Petrus throws to Hestera again, his 8th catch. Takes it inside the 15. Charles Correa tackles him from behind.
He's getting this opportunity because of Royals. You come into a game against Utah State, you know, you're not dumb. You know there's one guy you really have better stop, and that's Royals. And Hestera is taking a great advantage on the same side usually as Royals. They're giving him so much attention. It's leaving some space for Hestera to do some work.
Flag down. Like motion on the line by Utah State. Although Utah State's marching ahead, we'll see.
Offsides, defense,
Nope.
number 92 with contact. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Maxwell Peterson. Well, the contact is the key word there.
Yes. Before the ball ever moved, before a lineman ever moved.
First and 5. Screen. Brock Lane. Touchdown, Utah State. 3rd passing touchdown of the 2nd half for Spencer Petrus.
On the outside there, you know what that was set up by? An excellent block by Royals. Royals blocks out. They bring Brock around him, and Royals makes the block that enables him to score that touchdown.
2nd touchdown of the year for Brock Lane, coming back from injury with a 5th-year senior tight end. Tanner Cragen, the freshman kicker. PAT is good. So if Utah State wanted to see some fight in the 2nd half, they've got it from Petrus at quarterback. Another touchdown pass. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Randy, you pointed out on that last touchdown by Utah State the good block from Jalen Royals.
Yeah, Jalen Royals does a great job coming out here and blocking, because tight end's going to come right around and score the touchdown. And the reason this is the touchdown is the All-American style receiver gets in there, makes a nice block, and enables his tight end to come around him for that touchdown. That's That's teamwork. That's a wide receiver willingly sticking his face in there. That's a little unusual these days.
Speaks to his character and as well.
Yeah, Brock Lane, look at on the season, he's already got 5 tonight. Those nagging injuries, as the coaches described, you mentioned, that's his body.
Right. Nimrod's going to kick it deep. UNLV was anticipating an onside kick. DeJesus calls for the fair catch. Bring it to the 25. So Nimrod and Utah State elect to kick it deep. Now let's switch to easy mode for the Geico play of the game.
And it was that last touchdown pass, Malik Williams, that really broke this thing open to Ricky. I mean, that was a beautiful. All 3 of those passes were absolutely beautiful by Malik Williams.
That one went for 31 to Ricky White III. So 2 touchdown catches tonight for Ricky White. That is 8 receiving touchdowns this year. Still second in the Mountain West Conference because Nick Nash of San Jose State has 9. James in the backfield. Maybe a yard on first down. Kean Sloan has played a great game at defensive end for Utah State on the tackle.
When your name is Ricky White III and you've already got 3 touchdowns, are you done? Is there a limit? Is that you've kind of made your quota?
He's still out there. I mean, this is UNLV defensively went to more backups on that last trip out there for the defense, but the starters are still in for the offense.
Yeah, a lot more running though too.
Here's Williams to the air, right on cue, complete. Yep. To the outside, it is Ricky White again. That is his 7th catch of the game, goes for 10 more. Asked you this one during the week, but the last first-round draft pick for UNLV, the answer is they've never had one.
Isn't that crazy?
Randall Cunningham was the 37th player and first quarterback taken in the 1985 draft. That is a different era in the NFL.
Yes, it is.
Thomas gets a couple. That's it. Francois there on the tackle. But yeah, UNLV has never had a first-round pick. Ricky White III, right now, probably projected 2nd round. But, I mean, he has a chance to move up and be the first-round pick ever for UNLV football.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 32 picks. That's the one thing that gets blown out of proportion. Everybody's a possible first-rounder at this time of the year. He's going to be a day 1, day 2 kind of pick that will make a real impact somewhere.
You go wide receiver and special teams as Williams is chased and sacked. Ike Larson gets the sack on Malik Williams.
Another tackle for loss for this Utah State defense. It's had quite a few of them today or tonight.
That's the 8th tackle for loss by Utah State. If you're wondering, for Utah State, 5 first-round draft picks in the history for Utah State. Jordan Love, the latest. On 3rd and 14, Williams chased out of the pocket, tosses it up to the sideline, incomplete. Well, the Utah State fans who have stuck it out into the 4th quarter, they're seeing, I mean, you cannot argue about the effort in the second half by Utah State.
Not at all. The Malik Williams just had that pocket absolutely collapse and crushed into his lap. That's why he had to escape the way he did. Everything he could to get enough position on his body to get rid of that thing.
Marshall Nichols punts for just the 3rd time. Unleashes a good one. This will bounce inside the 15, be down right around the 13-yard line. Nichols hangs it high. Rebels still leading 47-28. (47-28) after a second half rally by Utah State. We revisit Randy's keys to the game.
Yeah, the offense for UNLV, keep them guessing. They have kept them guessing. All those rushing attempts we expected. Defense, limit number 1. They haven't done that, but they have blitzed the run. Offense, pace, points of possession for Utah State. They've had put up 28 points. 7 missed tackles. I'd say that's on the low side. The first tackler has not won, and that was one of the deciding factor. They have not been able to manage and handle Haj Malik Williams, though. He's escaped a lot.
All right, so there's a glimmer of hope here for Utah State.
They get 3 possessions.
Like I said, it's a glimmer.
So you're saying there's
right,
a
they're
chance.
saying there's a chance. Petrus has put up good numbers. Completes to Royals. Jalen Royals slips out of the first UNLV tackler on the 8th catch of the game for Jalen Royals and the 34th completion of the game by Spencer Petrus. He is now 1 completion away from the single-game school record for Utah State. Fake it to Faison. Petrus, incomplete. Tried to go back to Faison on the Texas route. Missed him.
Yeah, Faison has not avoided much contact in this game. He's dealt it, and he's been dealt it on a pretty regular basis. Very physical night for that man.
Faison left in the 3rd quarter, but was able to come back. Petrus, slant, caught. First down and a whole lot more. There is a flag down. For now, Hystera has his 9th catch. Chavis makes the stop, but we will check the flag.
That's in that area that gets dropped on the way of because of formation penalty.
Here's Cal McNeil.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference. The result of the play is first down.
And with that pass, Spencer Petrus has 35 completions. That is a new school record for completions in a game, passing Jim Kimball's record from 1984 versus UNLV.
He has thrown some darts tonight.
Faison gets the carry on first down. He's wrapped up after a couple.
Yeah, it's been a different offense in the second half for Utah State. They've done a very nice job executing and staying on the field.
Petrus pressured. Dumps it into the sideline to bring up 3rd down. And Petrus, his first year as an Aggie after 6 at Iowa, missed a couple with an ankle injury when Bryson Barnes, the former Utah Ute quarterback, started in his place. UNLV's out of the top 25 after the loss to Syracuse last week, but UNLV could very easily be ranked. It would have been the 4th ranked opponent that Utah State has played, with USC, Utah, and Boise State. UNLV certainly a top 25 caliber team.
UNLV calls their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Timeout UNLV with the clock stopped. So this is going to add on to the strength of schedule for Utah State. It has been a brutally tough schedule for Utah State. In fact, 5th hardest schedule so far in college football among the non-Power 4 conference teams.
Yeah, not surprised. I mean, you see some of those teams from MAC and CUSA. A lot of the times they're getting scheduled for some homecoming type games. Washington State out of the Pac-2.
Right.
They had some scheduling conflicts. So here's what they got left. They got New Mexico, Wyoming, and as a 1-4, 1-5 team, there are a handful of teams they should be able to stand toe-to-toe with.
And lightens up. New Mexico versus Air Force tomorrow. One of those teams is going to get their 2nd win of the season. Petrus now 35 completions for 379 yards. Hands off to Faison. Another tough run from Faison. I mean, running through contact to get you to 4th and 2. You're down 19 points.
Oh,
Offense stays on the field.
Look at this formation with the wide receivers almost on the sideline. Royals all the way wide left.
Looks like a free play coming. The fact they're going to blow this one down may have been contact by UNLV. Definitely offsides.
It's an easy thing when the defense loses its cool.
Defense, number 95 with contact. 5-yard penalty resulting first down.
Good play by the center Allo to reach out and touch Whitmore to make sure it gets called. So a first down via penalty. Faison motions out. Empty backfield on first down. Petrus over the middle, caught. Nice grab by Hystera. That is his 10th catch of the night for Jack Hystera, who had 6 catches on the season before tonight.
Pretty consistent. He's been lining up right there with Royals, who's just outside to his left, the bottom of the screen.
Fake it to Faison again. Dart tipped and picked off.
Wow.
It is intercepted again by Jackson Woodard, his 2nd of the night, his 3rd takeaway of the night. A fumble recovery and 2 interceptions for the 5th-year senior, 2nd-year Rebel, the former walk-on at Arkansas for Barry Odom. He followed him to UNLV, and he has become an elite playmaker on defense for the Rebels.
Well, that's why number 7's got that C on his jersey. He makes those plays, and the ball just finds him.
4 interceptions on the season for your middle linebacker.
That ball comes up in the air and wasn't a hard catch. He just happened to be right there to get it. Ball got knocked up in the air, and there's Woodard to catch it.
I'll give credit to Jet Elad, who also has an interception on the night, knocking that one free into the hands of Woodard. That's complete to Jaden Bradley for a gain of 9 on first down. So 4 takeaways by the UNLV defense, 3 of them from Jackson Woodard, a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions. You saw the tackle numbers, 11. Both Woodard and Elad have 11 tackles for UNLV. So they've combined for 22 tackles and 4 takeaways. Those 2 defenders for the Rebels.
Yeah, they alone have been the turnover machine that's powered this football team.
Bobble again. Haj Malik Williams picks it up and rolls across the 50 inside the 30-yard line, running away from the Utah State defense. He is out of bounds right around the 10 with a flag coming on a late hit. Haj Malik Williams bobbled the snap and then scoops it up and has a huge smile on his face after a busted play turns into another explosive for UNLV. It's a gain of 62 plus a penalty coming.
Yeah, that was an impressive play by Haj Malik Williams, getting out of that pocket, getting out of the jail, drops the snap. That destroys the play. Then it's improv. And he almost has a chance to get in. He realizes he's going to be stopped, heads out of bounds, and the unnecessary push at the end.
Hit, number 6 defense. Half the distance to go. First down.
It's on Ike Larson. Williams, I mean, you take away the sack numbers off the rush, but he had a total of 3 rushing yards before that play. Picks up 62 on that one, so he's right around 300 yards total offense with 3 passing touchdowns on the night. And he's still in the game with under 6 to go in the 4th. The numbers will not improve for Utah State.
And that doesn't really tell you, the whole story with as many defensive tackles as they've got out, 6.
And James is into the end zone, touchdown UNLV, but a flag is down.
Probably a holding on the backside of that run.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, replay, first down.
Wipes out the 3rd rushing touchdown of the game for Kylan James.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a hold. It was more of a dance move than anything else, but he was impeded. Shanks did sort of hug him and stop him.
At least he's able to laugh it off. The numbers right now, 536 yards of total offense for UNLV, 509 for Utah State. Still first and goal, even though you're out of the 15 after the holding penalty. James is in the backfield. He'll take it on 1st and goal from the 15. James trying to find the edge. Good gain on 1st down. They'll mark him out at the 7.
Nice broken tackle there. Little straight arm on one, but the second one gets him. A little bit of a face mask at the end, but no harm, no foul.
With that run, James goes over 100 yards. So both Jaden Thomas and Kylan James over 100 rushing yards for UNLV. They have 3 rushing touchdowns between them. James may have a chance at another. 2nd and goal. Gonna snap it. Oh, timeout. Didn't get it off in time, so UNLV will use its 2nd timeout of the 2nd half. Let's see, the points off turnovers right now is 61-7 differential on the year for UNLV, with a chance to add to it. And circle October 25. Yeah, you got Oregon State next, but Boise State, the big one on Friday night on CBS Sports Network, and UNLV is hoping it is the first of 2 potentially against Boise State, with a Mountain West Conference Championship rematch potential.
And right around Thanksgiving, they got San Jose State. But that Oregon State game is going to be a toughie. Beavers are pretty tough. Also 4-1.
Worth repeating that UNLV, a founding member of the Mountain West Conference, they're sticking with the Mountain West Conference, but they have never won a Mountain West Conference title. Last year was the first time they played in a championship game. So out of the timeout, 2nd and goal from the 7. Williams turns, gives to James, takes it inside the 5, driven back there by Jordan Vincent. It'll be 3rd and goal. UNLV obviously in no rush. Ricky White III getting tangled up.
Little chippy back there. Ricky White better be careful.
Two touchdown catches on the night for White. Give him 8 on the year. Forward progress for James was stopped at the 5, so now you got 3rd and goal. The bunch formation for the Rebels. Running the play clock and the game clock down. Williams gives to James. Stopped at the 3. It'll be 4th and goal. Here comes a flag.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky White III was in a little back and forth 2 plays ago, but I think at the end of that last one, someone might have thrown the punch. That's where that flag came from.
If it is a punch, it's an automatic ejection.
After the play, personal foul, number 11 of the offense. 15 yards to the spot, 4th down.
On Ricky White III. So, I mean, you saw the officials the previous play get in between White and the Utah State defenders. No flag thrown, but they let the first one go, and then this one, yeah, that easily could have been called a punch, which would have been an automatic ejection.
That was a swing with the left.
This is Andre Miono coming on for the field goal. We saw Caden Chittenden go down with an injury on a missed PAT. So you go to the backup kicker, the first field goal attempt of the year for Miono, who is 3 for 3 on PATs. This one from 45, and he boots it through easily. So your backup kicker has 3 more on the board, and it's 3 more points off turnovers. 50 points for the Rebels on the road. 78 combined points, over 1,000 yards of offense between the two. But we'll check out our cross-examination right now from Randy.
Yeah, how about which team has surprised me the most? I have to say Indiana. They're having a heck of a year. Which team is most disappointing? That's easy.
Agreed.
Florida State. Which team will make a big run for the final 2 months? I think BYU's got a great chance of winning the Big 12. And which team will win the national championship? Right now, if you had to guess, I think it'd be Ohio State.
Although I noticed on Tuesday when you were given the opportunity to take Texas and Ohio State or the field,
or
you
the
took.
Field. I took the field Tuesday night. That was a long time ago.
That was my cross-examination of you on cross-examination. Kickoff, fair catch. They bring it out to the 25. Again, Miono on the kickoff with the injury to Chittenden. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. It's usually an offensive explosion, but the defensive night from Jackson Woodard. How could you go with anybody else?
Yeah, you're going to see Jackson Woodard win a lot of Player of the Week awards. I think Mountain West, nationally, whatever. Old Trapper Player of the Year, Player of the Week.
11 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 INTs. That's a nice grab by Jalen Royals, continuing his terrific night. That's a gain of 25 more. Jet Elad makes the tackle, but he is down on the ground, and he's going to need the training staff. Elad is clearly rattled on that tackle on Jalen Royals.
That was a heck of a contact, and the defender gets up slowly, not the offensive player. Jalen Royals is a pretty solidly built individual.
Elad. Well, it's good to see him walk over, although wobbly to the sideline. Yeah, he's had a remarkable game. 12 tackles, an INT. Had the pass breakup that allowed Woodard to have his last interception, but Elad.
You saw that helmet-to-helmet look on that contact there with Royals.
Royals 9 catches, 142 yards. Petrus already set the school record for completions, has another one. It's Royals again with his 10th catch of the game. Petrus' 38th completion of the night. I told you at the very beginning, offense has not been the issue for Utah State, even though they turned it over 3 times in the first half. The numbers have been good. Petrus delivers again. It's a slip and fall from Grant Page, but he still gets 8. If you said Petrus would have almost 200 more passing yards than Haj Malik Williams, and yet you're down 50-28, that's another weird number.
Yeah, it's a weird number, but if you do the math on the points off turnover, It makes it a lot less crazy game if they're without those 20 points or so.
That one's tipped and almost picked again. Woodard got a hand on it, so it's another pass breakup for Jackson Woodard. His second PBU of the night.
Oh, he almost caught that too.
So 12 tackles, 2 INTs, fumble recovery, and 2 pass breakups for your middle linebacker. And you can see why Barry Odom was keen on bringing him from Arkansas to UNLV with him.
He's a perfect component on the inside of that defense.
Petrus chased, dumps it off incomplete. Looked like he was outside the tackle box.
In this situation, too, you know, you can just watch the quarterback sitting there at linebacker. That's a night. First player since 2022 to have 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery in the game.
And again, he told us this week with a dropped INT, even though he had 1 interception against Syracuse, he had a dropped INT. He said, I owe my teammates one. Got to get that one back. Well, he's done that and more tonight. Petrus delivers again. It's a completion to Grant Page. That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. UNLV's in command, but Utah State still moving the football.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon. And by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico.
50 on the board for UNLV. The Aggies have actually outgained UNLV in this game, but the 3 turnovers by UNLV, by the 4 turnovers by Utah State, that's the difference in the game. Petrus with 40 completions for 452 yards. You add it to what he had last week against Boise State, 825 passing yards in the last 2 games for the 7th-year senior. Petrus, that one's tipped, and it is almost picked again on the screen off the hands of Hystera.
Yeah, that just deflects. That ball got in on his, it came off his helmet, went through his hands and hit off his helmet. That's why it bounced so high. Just couldn't quite get his hands up fast enough to catch it.
Here's what's on the line in the last minute 52. 2 more completions by Petrus, be the most by an FBS quarterback this year. But they're handing off here as Turner runs it on 2nd down. Timeout with a minute 43.
Utah State, their 2nd timeout of the half, 30 seconds.
Well, when we're done with this one on the Friday night in the Mountain West between UNLV and Utah State, coming up next on CBS Sports Network, head into the studio with our Inside College Football crew. They bring you up to speed on all the gridiron action, including a potential upset in the top 25 tonight as Arizona State leads Utah at the half.
They can update you on what happened on these Friday night games and get you ready for one of the better Saturdays of the year so far tomorrow.
All right, so Petrus 40 of 57, but 3 interceptions. 2 more passes, the most by an FBS quarterback this year. He's back to throw on 3rd and 6. Oh, Woodard nearly had another pick. 2 hands on it. Would have been the 3rd interception of the night by Jackson Woodard.
The old hit him in a bad place. The hands. That was one, as soon as he let it go, I'm sure Petrus wanted to have it back because the only ones in line to catch that were wearing white.
4th down, Petrus check down. That's caught. Turner out of the backfield. Has enough for the 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal, Utah State. The 41st completion of the night for Spencer Petrus. Turner with him in the backfield, out of the gun. No handoff. Turner pushing, and he is waiting for the signal. There it is. Touchdown, Utah State. 3-yard touchdown run for Herschel Turner Jr., the true freshman from Richmond, California.
He spins out of the tackle and gets knocked into the end zone. Good recovery. Where does the ball come down, and is the knee down first? Well, he's well into the end zone by the time he comes down. When is he down? That's the question. Look for any part of the shin, the leg. Oh, it's the backside. So yes, it's easy to say he was in. By the time the backside hit, the ball was over the goal line.
They're taking a look. Replay official Jesse Peterson. So that's why Cal McNeil is holding up play. It's confirmed touchdown. 2nd rushing touchdown of Herschel Turner Jr.'s freshman year. And the 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Aggies going for 2 with 1:18 to go. Petrus for the 2-point conversion. Steps up in the pocket, dances, and is dropped. So the 2-point conversion fails, but still a rushing touchdown. I mean, a game that was controlled by UNLV. The numbers look a little bit better because of the 2nd half rally by Utah State.
Petrus had nowhere to go. That end zone view showed it perfectly. That was his view, so get ready, get set up here for an onside kick. Last one we expected was an onside, got drilled into the end zone, but I got to figure with a 2-possession game like this is definitely an onside, if not directly at one of the return people, to see if they can get it to bounce off it, deflect it.
to go back to 2003 for the last successful onside kick, 2023 rather, versus Georgia State. You're down 16, so there's a path, but you better get on that path pretty quickly. Like I said, Nimrod kicked it deep last time. We expected the onsider.
Plenty of room.
There's the onside kick. Easily recovered by UNLV. Utah State only has one timeout, so the Rebels can hand it off or even take a knee at this point and get out of Logan, Utah. With their second straight win in Logan, they had never won back-to-back games against Utah State on the road here in Logan, but they won in 2022. That was one of just 7 wins under Marcus Arroyo in his 3 years as UNLV head coach, but one of those was on the road here in 2022, their last trip to Logan, Utah. But this will be 5 straight road wins for the UNLV program and back-to-back wins in Logan, Utah, and the first time in the 27 meetings total between these two. Williams gets to take a knee, and UNLV takes care of business on the road at Utah State.
Yeah, Hajj Malik Williams gets to finish what he started. 5th straight road win, longest streak in school history. Something to be proud of and something to build off of.
And as you pointed out from the very beginning, you lose in overtime at home to Syracuse, so you've got 1 loss, but you cannot let that keep you from your goals of winning the Mountain West Conference Championship, so you bounce back with a road win against Utah State.
And next week's game, the next game against Oregon State, is also not a conference game. So as important it is to win that, just because it's your next game you want to win, and it's not a conference game.
And then you got Boise State on a Friday night in Vegas. Jackson Woodard leads the way. What an incredible night for the 5th-year senior. 12 tackles, 2 INTs, a fumble recovery, 3 pass breakups. And UNLV goes to 5-1 on the season, 2-0 and Mountain West Conference play. So they are now tied atop the Mountain West Conference with San Jose State. Utah State, playing one of the toughest schedules in all of college football, falls to 1-5, 0-2 in the Mountain West Conference. UNLV with 556 yards of offense and 50 points joins San Jose State at 2-0 atop the Mountain West, with a lot of football left to be played and an eye on the college football playoff in 2024.
Yeah, a lot of positive mojo around this Rebels football team in Las Vegas. The fan base has got to be awful excited about what they got going on, and you get them at home in a home game. I think it'll even build from where it was last week at 32,000. They get a lot more next time.
Record-setting night for Spencer Petras for Utah State, but Amanda's with the hero of the night, Jackson Woodard.
Things are actually getting a little heated down here, so I'm going to try to grab Jackson. Jackson pulling a leadership role there for us. Hey, talk to us about your game. 12 tackles, 2 interceptions. Your coaches say that the ball finds you, but what were you seeing out there tonight?
Man, first and foremost, I want to thank Jesus Christ. You know, he's my Lord and Savior. I go through a lot throughout the week, and prayer is really all that helps me. But man, my teammates were flying around. Like, the last pick I had was just because Cam made a great play. The D-line was in the backfield all night. I got great defensive backs. It was just a team effort. The offense was so much fun to watch. It was a great game.
Speaking of the offense, your quarterback, Hajj Malik Williams, when he took over a couple weeks ago, you were one of the most vocal in support of him. What makes him so special?
He comes to work every day. He obviously went through a hard situation, and he didn't change. His character didn't change. It was hard on him. And just what a man he is. He has such a good character. Behind the scenes, he worked so hard. We have a great relationship. As soon as he got here, we clicked. He's helped me so much with leadership. I'm just, proud to be his teammate, really.
Jackson, congratulations on the game tonight.
Thank you so much.
Jackson Woodard leads the UNLV defense with 4 takeaways on the night. The Rebels are 5-1, 2-0 in the Mountain West. For Randy Cross, Amanda Guerra, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 50-28, UNLV wins it on the road at Utah State. Now we send it on to the New York studio. Good night from Logan.